Buongiorno a tutte e a tutti, benvenuti a una nuova intervista di Lago Film Fest per presentare i registi del concorso dell'edizione 2023, che sarà dal 21 di luglio al 29 di luglio. Oggi abbiamo con noi un ospite speciale, fa parte del concorso internazionale di Lago Film Fest e il suo film verrà presentato nelle rive del nostro lago in anteprima internazionale. È un film che ha colpito molto il nostro team di selezione per la sua capacità di giocare con i tempi del cinema e nel dare una sorta di illusione e mondo immaginario nella sua costruzione. L'ospite è ovviamente di caratura internazionale, quindi svolgeremo l'intervista in inglese. Quindi, without further ado, I would love to introduce to you all Ian Capillé, the director of Orrio.
Hi,
Hi
how
Ian,
are
how are
you?
you?
Nice.
Good, good.
Good.
Okay. Well, Ian, as a first question, I would love to ask you a very simple one. What is the inception of O Rio Seu Labirinto? What can you tell us about how it came to be and what was the process behind the creation of the movie?
Uh, well, I think the film started well, I live in Lisbon. I'm Brazilian, but I live in Lisbon. And the film started when I moved to the other side of the Tagus River, which is another city. And I moved there in 2021, the January 2021. And to get there, you have to take this boat, which appears in the film. And it was like still pandemia, and we have lockdown there. And I was living with friends in a big house, actually, in an apartment that was kind of lended to us by two filmmakers, the João Salavisa and René Nader, which they went to Brazil to shoot their film, which just premiered in Cannes this year, Flor de Buriti Flower. And so they went to Brazil to shoot it, and we went to their house to take care of it while they were shooting for this whole year. So while I was living there with pandemia, with this boat, all my timetables changed a lot. I think everyone's changed a lot because of lockdown, etc. But actually, this boat also reminded me of another boat I used to take, ferry, in Rio de Janeiro, where I'm from, to go to the film school I went to. So it was again in the other side of, in this case, of a bay, of Guanabara Bay, and we had to take the boat to get there every day. And then suddenly I had this, I don't know, flash of memories from crossing the river, crossing the bay every day, and I think every kind of transportation has this feeling that changes your mindset a little bit. You go, I don't know, like watching from train window, the everything goes by. You think in a way, or buses, or this is a cliche, but it's true. Like when I was in the boat, I think I was thinking and remembering things that I don't know, I usually wouldn't think about. So I had all this time zones and time things going on in my daily life, and I decided to film it. And then the film started as like I was filming with the people I used to live. Those are the actresses of the film in the house we were living, and with a few situations that we were living in our daily basis around Casillas, this place we had just moved to. So that's I think that's how the film started to appear.
Okay, very interesting. Yes, I think pandemic is something that hit filmmakers and people in general all
Yeah.
around the world. Yeah, I completely get the feeling of getting your routine changed. And it's very interesting because the movie, it's funny that you say that it reminded you of your hometown because one of the main strengths of the movie, I think, is the fact that the movie it kind of has like the three times in one place, like it has past, present, and future all happening at the same time, giving this sort of structure that is very peculiar. So I wanted to ask you, sure something that came during the filming of the movie, or was it something that you always wanted to explore?
It was from the start, like this structure of the film, and in a way, I mean, I work with filmmaking, but also with editing mainly. So I think it's a kind of a of a game that's in an editor's mindset that it's, I don't know, it is there to be done, but also I like a lot, not only like, I think I'm puzzled and interested a lot in the idea of parallel editing. I don't know if that's the expression
Yeah,
in English, but it's like one of the oldest tricks of, I don't know, cinema editing. We can go back, I don't know to where, but this still puzzles me a lot. Sorry.
hmm? No, nothing. I
Okay.
was listening. I was listening.
And so yeah, I think it started, and it's not my first film to try to create new time fluxes, different time fluxes of, I don't know, different feelings of time with this idea of parallel editing. So it was from the start, but yes, I think it came from a book actually I read. Um, I don't know, to try to make this three layers of time work almost at the same time. I don't know, and so yes, it was from the start. That's the thing.
Okay. 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 Yeah. No. Because and you can see the influences about editing because like in the editing part, I think that the movie conveys this combination of times living together in such a smooth transition and style that I really think is one of the main strengths of the movie, and I think it will be one of the main things that the public will appreciate. And it actually reminded me to go to the next questions, like a lot about the structures, like in a sort of Hong Sang-soo movie. So one of the questions I wanted to is like in your career was what were the influences about trying to convey these times of cinema, or what were the inspirations that came to the realization of Rios Labirinto or other works?
Mm, I think for me that's a more tricky question. Like I try to not to avoid, but I'm very suspicious about connecting myself so directly to any previous, or I don't know, filmmakers. But of course, we have those that you watch more. But in my um, my own experience, I think I came to work with, and like to I came to cinema because of uh, watching a lot of films. So I came from this cinephile environment. In a way, I could say I'm influenced by everything I like in a very general sense, and I'm always, and I don't mind like copying anyone. I could also answer like, people are saying because of this film, you're not the first one to notice or to tag like Hong Sang Soo to it. I've been listening to this a lot, and I answered this one time like, oh, okay, so people say I'm only copying Hong Sang Soo, but my answer is no, that's not true. I'm copying a lot of other people. So I have no. For me, it's not an issue to try to do something. And I'm not implying that you said it was an issue,
Oh,
but
no.
and the point is that yes, Hong Sang Soo is a filmmaker I admire a lot. Not only like because of the way he makes his films and the stories, like the method he uses. This idea of method rings a lot with me. So
Mhm,
other filmmakers that have a very precise way of making their films, like Simon Liang, or like
mhm,
are also very dear to me. And Simon Liang also has a lot of parallel editing his films. So yes, Hong Sang-soo, it is there, but again, a lot of others. I don't know. This idea of a kind of comedy going on is also important to me. Hong Sang-soo has this, Tsai Ming-ya has also, but
Hmm.
I think a lot of others, contemporary filmmakers, would also be uh, people that I like to link myself to, perhaps.
Okay. Okay. Although they say the greatest form of flattery is copying someone, so in a way it could be
Yeah,
like that.
yeah,
So,
that's true. Yeah,
and
that's what we're saying. Like copying is what we do in a way. Yes, I copy a lot of them.
and speaking about what you said about method and speaking about influences in life, I wanted to speak about one of the other aspects that really captured the attention of the movie, which is the acting with the actresses and yourself acting in the movie. Like it has like this sort of theatrical shape to it, so that makes it like that gives of illusion and dream gaze inside the movie. So I wanted to ask you, what was the work with the actresses, and how did you work with them in regarding the portrayal of these characters that are intertwined within the narrative, but at the same time very distant in the time.
Um, that's more difficult, I think, perhaps because I have it less figure out even to myself. What I can say, like very practically, what how we worked. For me, is very important. First of all, to have everything as much as I can settled before the shooting. So
Mhm.
this is very different from Hong Su. like
A
I,
further proof that you're not copying.
yeah, it's like it's probably the opposite he would say. But so we had all the shots and texts, like everything worked a lot beforehand. But not only that, but I need to have a very small crew and and the actresses, they are my friends. We're living together.
Mhm.
So even the dog was our dog. It's
Okay.
Nina's dog, the one of the
Okay.
actresses. So this means like I was very close to them. For me, it's I think it comes more from an idea that I'm not this. I don't have good ideas this fast. So if something goes wrong, I'm not very good at. Oh, I know exactly what to do now. It's like I need time to think. I work slowly. That's what I meant.
Okay.
So I need to give me this time during shooting to make to take the best out of everything. So even if there are some problems and corrections during shooting, I try to be as much as I can prepared to it. And I think this also gives us like a lot of space to work with acting because they are not professional actors like
Mm.
actresses and neither myself, although I had like worked with theater before, I don't do it
Mhm.
like it has a long time. So I think I try to settle everything as best as I can, so during shooting I can just work with the actresses. I don't want to mind about other things. This is for the crew.
Okay.
And so less crew is less pressure and less it's all this idea to go to a minimum situation that it's very easy for people to communicate and understand and to try many times. um, so and this dreamlike vibe you said, that's what I think it's more like. As I said, I can answer practically. That's what I thought
Okay.
before and how we worked. But the atmosphere is more difficult to precise. I think it's something you. It's more about an intuition of how the film vibe goes.
Mhm.
And as I work with editing every day, I would like log everything to to the timeline and already like try to do some fast cuts and to see how the film was building. and perhaps to change a little bit in a future scene. That's also important to me. Like to have time to see what I did and to do minor adjustments if something. Oh, this scene I thought it was going to look more like this, but it's more like that. So maybe I have to push it in the next one. So that's how I work, I think.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I asked because like in the acting is what I think is conveys like this vehicle about the dreaminess of your movie, and I was very interested to know how you did it, and to know it was like this, it makes it even more interesting. And well, one of the other things I would love to ask you right now is, since it's a movie that speaks about present, past, and future, is a question about the future. After Rio Seu Labirinto, what are the next projects you have lined up, and what do you think will come after this? If you're gonna stick more to editing, or like work again in directing in this style, basically, what's next in your career?
Mm, I have two projects going on. One of a short, and the other one like a first feature film, which is
Mhm.
something always something like difficult to convey. I don't know to put. And so probably the short is going to come first, but I'm already working on script writing. The this I already have like a script almost done for this feature, but
Mhm.
I don't know. It's probably going to take a few more years. But the shorts, I hope it will be shot. I don't know, next year, in the first half of next year. In a way, I think it has a lot to do with Rio Seu Labirinto. Rio Seu Labirinto was the first, not the first shot I made in Portugal, but the one before was very, very simple. So it didn't have any crew. It was just myself and my camera. Like
Mhm.
so, it was kind of the first one I did in. Well, Rio Seu Labirinto was kind of the first one I did in Portugal, and it started a lot of things I was, I think, learning and building uh, in those years before. So for me, this next short is a continuation, I think, of Rio Seu Labirinto, the same problems, I think, going on. Yeah.
Well, let's hope they leave you the same apartment as well.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not in Casillas anymore, but it's also about the neighborhood I'm living now in
Okay.
Lisboa. So yeah, there are some
Uh,
connections there.
Okay. Well, it was lovely to speak about Rio Seu Labirinto, and well, I hope we can have the chance in the future to speak about it again in our festival. All I can say to the public is to come and see Rio Seu Labirinto from Ian Capillé in Lago Film Fest, which is from the 21st to the 29th of July. And again, it was lovely to chat, and I hope everything goes well for you and your next projects.
Thank you so much. It was nice to chat.
Okay. Have a nice day.
Bye bye.